When the power grid fails and grocery store shelves go empty, most people realize they're just 72 hours away from desperation. But what if I told you that 11 specific canned foods could be the difference between thriving and barely surviving when disaster strikes? In this video, you're going to discover the exact canned foods that seasoned preppers trust with their lives. Not the obvious choices everyone thinks of, but the nutrient-dense, calorie-packed survival staples that actually matter when fresh food is gone and help isn't coming. Stay until the end because number 11 is something most people walk right past in the store, yet it could be the most valuable item in your pantry during a crisis. Welcome to Food Decider, where we help you make smarter choices about what you eat and store. If you're serious about food security and survival preparedness, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss our expert insights. Let's start with something that might surprise you. When most people think about stocking canned fish, they automatically reach for tuna. But seasoned preppers know there's a better choice sitting right next to it on the shelf: canned salmon. Canned salmon is what survival experts call a superfood, and for good reason. It's absolutely loaded with high-quality protein and omega-3 fatty acids that your body desperately needs during stressful situations. But here's what sets it apart from tuna: those soft, edible bones you find in canned salmon. Most people pick around them, but in a survival scenario, those bones are pure gold. They're packed with calcium, and when fresh dairy products are long gone, that calcium becomes crucial for maintaining bone health and proper muscle function. The beauty of canned salmon is its simplicity. You can eat it straight from the can with absolutely no preparation. No heating required, no cooking fuel needed. Just pop the lid and you've got a complete meal. If you want to get a bit more creative, you can mix it into rice to stretch your supplies, make quick fish cakes if you have a heat source, or roll it into a wrap with a dash of hot sauce for something that feels like a real meal instead of just survival rations. Now, let's talk about storage and cost, because this matters. Canned salmon typically lasts between 3 to 5 years, and often longer if you're storing it in a cool, dry place. But here's the catch: prices are climbing. Wild-caught varieties are now running anywhere from $3 to $6 per can, and that price keeps creeping up. This is survival-grade sustenance that also gives you a psychological boost during tough times. Stock up now while you still can, because this is one investment you won't regret. Next up, we have something that most people only think about during Thanksgiving, but it deserves a permanent spot in your survival pantry: canned pumpkin puree. I know what you're thinking. Pumpkin is just for pies, right? Wrong. Canned pumpkin puree is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to nutrition. It's packed with vitamin A, which is essential for immune function and vision, especially important when medical care might not be readily available. It's loaded with potassium, which helps regulate your heartbeat and blood pressure during stressful situations. And it contains gut-friendly fiber that keeps your digestive system functioning properly, which can be a real challenge when you're eating emergency rations and dealing with crisis-level stress. Here's another advantage that people don't talk about enough. Pumpkin puree is incredibly gentle on your stomach. When you're under extreme stress, digestion can become difficult. Pumpkin is soft, easy to process, and can even be eaten straight from the can with the spoon if necessary. No cooking, no preparation, just pure nutrition when your body needs it most. The versatility is impressive too. You can stir it into oatmeal to boost the nutritional content of your breakfast. You can blend it into soups to stretch your supplies and add thickness. And if you happen to have baking capabilities, you can incorporate it into all kinds of recipes. But even without any of that, it stands alone as a complete food source. Storage-wise, unopened canned pumpkin lasts anywhere from 2 to 5 years, and if you invest in number 10 cans or sealed pouches, you can push that even further. But here's what you need to know: prices are rising due to crop issues and increased demand. People are catching on to how valuable this is, and supply hasn't kept up. Don't wait until the next crisis to stock your shelves. Now let's talk about something that might seem unusual for a survival pantry, but trust me on this one: canned coconut milk. Canned coconut milk is what I call liquid gold for survival situations, and here's why. When fresh food disappears and you're living on stored supplies, one of the biggest challenges is getting enough healthy fats into your diet. Your body needs fat for energy, for brain function, for hormone production, and for absorbing certain vitamins. Coconut milk is a high-fat, high-function food that becomes absolutely invaluable in these scenarios. But it's not just about the fats. Coconut milk contains natural electrolytes that help keep you hydrated, which is critical in hot conditions or when clean water might be limited. It delivers energy-dense calories in a form that's easy for your body to use quickly. And unlike many other high-fat foods, it's completely shelf-stable and requires zero refrigeration. The ways you can use coconut milk in a crisis are almost endless. You can drink it straight for fast calories when you need immediate energy. You can cook it into stews and rice dishes to add richness and nutritional density. You can even add it to pancakes if you're able to do any baking. And here's a simple comfort trick. Add it to tea or coffee for a creamy boost that makes ration supplies feel a little more luxurious.
When you're shopping, make sure you're getting the full-fat versions, not the light or reduced-fat varieties. In survival situations, those extra calories and fats are exactly what you need. Full-fat canned coconut milk lasts between 2 and 5 years unopened. Prices are steadily creeping up as plant-based diets become more popular and import fluctuations affect supply. Stock up on the full-fat cans now for maximum survival value. Let's move to a small but mighty option that delivers massive nutritional payoff: canned sardines in olive oil. Sardines might not be glamorous, but they're what I call nutritional royalty. These tiny fish are absolutely loaded with protein, giving you the building blocks your body needs to maintain muscle mass and recover from physical stress. They're packed with omega-3 fatty acids that support brain function, reduce inflammation, and keep your cardiovascular system healthy. And just like salmon, they contain those soft, edible bones that provide crucial calcium. But here's what makes sardines in olive oil extra special: the olive oil itself. That oil isn't just there for flavor or preservation, it's adding even more healthy fats and calories to an already nutrient-dense food. In a survival scenario where every calorie counts, that oil is pure fuel for your body. The combination makes this a compact, lightweight superfood that takes up minimal space but delivers maximum nutrition. Eating sardines couldn't be simpler. Straight from the can is perfectly fine. You can mash them into rice for a quick meal. You can spread them on crackers if you have them. There's no preparation required, no cooking needed, just open and eat. Shelf life for sardines in olive oil is typically 3 to 5 years, sometimes longer depending on storage conditions. Prices range from about $1.50 to $3 per can, but those prices are rising as more people discover the benefits of Mediterranean diets and sustainable proteins. This is still relatively affordable compared to the nutritional value you're getting, so now is the time to add them to your pantry. Here's one that a lot of people overlook, but endurance athletes have known about forever: canned beets. Canned beets are loaded with natural nitrates, and these aren't the scary kind you've heard about in processed meats. These are beneficial compounds that your body converts into nitric oxide, which boosts blood flow throughout your entire system. That means more oxygen getting to your brain, helping you think clearly and make better decisions under pressure. More oxygen reaching your muscles, giving you energy and endurance when physical demands are high. This is vital stuff when you're dealing with the stress and physical challenges that come with any crisis situation. Beyond the nitrates, beets support heart health and help your body's natural detoxification processes. When you're eating stored foods and dealing with environmental stressors, supporting your body's ability to process and eliminate toxins becomes increasingly important. The best part about canned beets is the convenience factor. There's no peeling required, no roasting for hours in an oven. You just open the can and they're ready to eat. You can rinse them if you want to reduce the sodium content, then add them to rice, toss them into salads, or eat them straight. No fuss, no complexity, just straightforward nutrition. Canned beets last up to 5 years when properly sealed and stored. Right now, you can still find them for under $1.25 per can in many places, but prices are climbing as more people discover the benefits of Mediterranean diets and sustainable proteins. This is still relatively affordable compared to the nutritional value you're getting, so now is the time to add them to your pantry. Now let's talk about a dairy option that most people have never even considered: evaporated goat milk. If you've never tried goat milk before, you might be wondering why you'd choose it over regular cow's milk. Here's the deal. Goat milk is significantly easier to digest than cow's milk. The fat molecules are smaller, the protein structure is different, and for many people, it doesn't cause the same digestive issues that cow's milk does. This makes it ideal for people with sensitive stomachs, for children, and for elderly family members who might struggle with heavier dairy products. But it's not just about easier digestion. Evaporated goat milk is rich in calcium, which we've already established is crucial when fresh dairy isn't available. It contains potassium for heart and muscle function, and it provides essential fats that your body needs for countless processes. In a survival scenario where having a source of these nutrients that doesn't require refrigeration is absolutely invaluable. The versatility is impressive. You can reconstitute it with water and drink it just like fresh milk. You can mash it into rice for a quick meal. You can spread it on crackers if you have them. There's no preparation required, no cooking needed, just open and eat. Shelf life for evaporated goat milk is typically 5 years or more when properly sealed and stored. Right now, you can still find them for under $1.25 per can in many places, but prices are rising as more people discover the benefits of Mediterranean diets and sustainable proteins. This is still relatively affordable compared to the nutritional value you're getting, so now is the time to add them to your pantry. Here's one that a lot of people overlook, but endurance athletes have known about forever: Blackstrap Molasses. Most people think of molasses as just a sweetener, maybe something you use in gingerbread cookies once a year.
But Blackstrap Molasses is actually a nutritional powerhouse that deserves serious consideration for your emergency supplies. This dark, thick syrup is packed with iron, which is essential for carrying oxygen in your blood and preventing fatigue. It contains magnesium, which supports hundreds of processes in your body, including energy production and stress management. It's loaded with potassium for heart function, calcium for bones, and vitamin B6 for brain health. Here's what makes Blackstrap Molasses special for survival situations. It provides slow, steady energy instead of the spike and crash you get from regular sugar. When you're rationing food and need to maintain energy levels throughout the day, that sustained release is incredibly valuable. And for women and children especially, it's a natural, easily absorbable source of iron, which can be difficult to get enough of when living on stored foods. Using Blackstrap Molasses is simple. Add a spoonful to your oatmeal for sweetness and nutrition. Stir it into tea for energy and minerals. Mix it into powdered milk to improve the flavor and boost the nutritional content. If you're baking bread, incorporate it into the dough. A little bit goes a long way, which means one jar can last you through extended periods. Storage is excellent. Blackstrap Molasses lasts for years if it's sealed and stored in a cool, dark place. A jar typically costs between $5 and $7, which might seem like a lot, but remember that you're using small amounts and getting dense nutrition in return. Demand is rising as more people discover the health benefits beyond just sweetness, so prices are likely to continue climbing. Now we're getting into some options that might seem unconventional, but they fill critical gaps in a survival diet. Let's talk about canned green jackfruit and brine. Green jackfruit is what I call a texture chameleon, and that matters more than you might think. When you're eating stored foods for extended periods, everything starts to feel the same. Soft, mushy, monotonous. Morale takes a hit, and people start losing their appetite even when they need the calories. This is where jackfruit becomes valuable. Green jackfruit is low in calories but high in fiber, which means it fills you up and helps with satiation even when protein might be limited. But here's the magic. When you shred it, it mimics the texture of pulled pork or shredded chicken. It's a blank canvas that takes on whatever flavors you add to it. In a crisis situation where meat might be scarce or spoiled, being able to create something that feels and tastes like a familiar comfort food can be a massive morale boost. The practical applications are straightforward. Rinse the jackfruit, shred it with a fork, and season it however you like. You could make tacos, barbecue sandwiches, add it to stews, incorporate it into curries. It transforms boring rice and beans into something that feels like an actual meal instead of just survival rations. Canned green jackfruit and brine is shelf-stable for 2 to 5 years. Cans typically cost between $2 and $3, and prices are rising as more plant-based eating and prepping become more mainstream. The psychological value of having options that provide texture and variety far exceeds the modest cost. Let's talk about another option that solves a specific problem: canned hummus. Hummus might seem like a luxury item, something you'd never think to include in a survival pantry. But here's why it deserves a spot. It's made from chickpeas and tahini, which means it provides complete protein with all the amino acids your body needs. It contains heart-healthy fats from the sesame paste. It offers slow-burning carbohydrates that provide sustained energy, and most importantly,
It's ready to eat straight from the can with absolutely no preparation required. Think about what that means in a real crisis. No stove needed, no fire required, no cooking fuel to conserve. You just open the can and you've got complete plant-based nutrition that you can eat with a spoon if necessary. In situations where utilities are down or you're trying to stay quiet and not draw attention, having ready-to-eat protein sources becomes absolutely critical. The versatility adds to its value. Straight from the can works fine. Spread it on crackers or bread if you have them. Add it to rice to boost the protein content and add flavor. Mix it into salads. It makes bland emergency rations significantly more palatable, which helps with the morale issue we keep coming back to. Storage is typically 2 to 3 years. Prices vary by brand, but it remains one of the most convenient and nutritious canned foods you can store for emergency situations. Having a few cans in rotation ensures you've always got complete protein available, even when traditional protein sources aren't an option. Now here's something that might seem too simple, but experienced preppers know better. Canned sweet corn with peppers. Survival isn't just about calories and nutrients, although those obviously matter. It's also about maintaining morale and keeping your spirits up when everything around you feels bleak and difficult. This is where canned sweet corn with peppers becomes valuable in ways that go beyond just basic nutrition. The natural sugars in sweet corn provide quick energy when you need an immediate boost. The bright color and flavor of the peppers add visual appeal and taste variety to what might otherwise be monotonous meals. Never underestimate the psychological impact of eating something that looks appealing and tastes good. It lifts your mood, it gives you something to look forward to, and it helps maintain the mental resilience that's just as important as physical health during extended emergencies. From a practical standpoint, it's incredibly versatile. Eat it straight from the can for a quick side dish.
Add it to beans for a complete Southwestern-style meal. Mix it with canned chicken or tuna for extra substance. Stir it into stews and soups for color, texture, and sweetness. It brightens up basic rice. It transforms casseroles. It's one of those simple ingredients that makes other foods better. Canned sweet corn with peppers lasts 2 to 3 years, often longer if stored in good conditions. It's still affordable at $1 to $1.75 per can, but corn prices are volatile and can spike quickly due to weather, demand, and market conditions. This is still in the budget-friendly category, so stocking up now makes sense before the next price jump. And now we've reached number 11, the one I told you to wait for. This is something most people walk right past in the store without a second thought, but it could be one of the most valuable items in your crisis pantry. Canned escarole or collard greens. When fresh produce disappears, which happens fast in any emergency situation, getting leafy green vegetables becomes nearly impossible. And that's a serious problem because these greens contain nutrients that are difficult to find in other shelf-stable foods. We're talking about vitamin K, which is essential for blood clotting and bone health, iron, which carries oxygen through your body and prevents debilitating fatigue, calcium for bone and muscle function, and fiber to keep your digestive system working properly when stress and limited food variety threaten to shut everything down. Canned escarole and collard greens are these nutrients in shelf-stable form. When everything else is beans, rice, and canned meat, these greens provide the micronutrients your body is desperately craving. They fill nutritional gaps that can't be filled any other way when you're living on stored food. Using them is simple and actually quite comforting. Warm them up with a bit of garlic powder, onion powder, or hot sauce, and you've got a side dish that feels like home cooking. Add them to stews for extra nutrition and substance. Toss them into soups, or if you're really in a pinch, eat them straight from the can. They're not glamorous, but they're functional, and that's what matters. The storage life is impressive, 3 to 5 years minimum, and some people report cans lasting up to 10 years when stored properly in cool, dry conditions. They're still budget-friendly at $1 to $1.25 per can, but prices are rising due to climate impacts on farming and ongoing supply chain pressures. This is one of those items where buying extra now, while it's still affordable, could pay off significantly down the road. So, there you have it, 11 canned foods that go beyond the obvious choices and provide real comprehensive nutrition for crisis situations. These aren't just random items thrown together. Each one fills a specific nutritional need or solves a particular problem that comes up when you're living on stored food. Together, they create a foundation for a pantry that can actually sustain you through blackouts, natural disasters, supply chain breakdowns, or any situation where grocery stores aren't an option. The key takeaway here is this:
Survival is about both physical nutrition and mental resilience. Your body needs protein, healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, and fiber to function properly under stress. But your mind also needs variety, flavor, and familiar comforts to stay strong when everything feels uncertain. These 11 foods address both sides of that equation. Here's what you need to do next. Start building your pantry now while these items are still relatively affordable and available. Focus on proper storage. Keep everything in a cool, dry, and dark place. Rotate your stock regularly, using the oldest cans first and replacing them with fresh stock. Check cans for rust, bulging, or broken seals before you eat anything. These are simple practices that ensure your emergency supplies will actually be there when you need them. Don't wait for the next crisis to take action. Prices are rising across the board due to climate change, supply chain disruptions, and increased demand as more people wake up to the importance of preparedness. What costs $1 today might cost $2 next year. What's available now might be sold out tomorrow. Every week you wait is a missed opportunity to secure your family's food supply at current prices. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your #1 must-have canned food for emergencies? Is there something you always keep stocked that we didn't cover? Drop it in the comments below. Your experience and knowledge could help someone else prepare for the unexpected. The prepping community is built on shared information, and your insight matters. If this video opened your eyes to survival foods you hadn't considered before, do me a favor and smash that like button. Subscribe to Food Deciders so you're always equipped with our latest food security insights and preparedness strategies. And hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. We're constantly researching and sharing information that can make a real difference when it matters most. Stay sharp, stay stocked, and keep taking care of yourself and the people you love. Prepping isn't about fear or paranoia, it's about readiness, resilience, and taking control of what you can control. We'll see you in the next video with more insights to help you make smarter food decisions. Until then, take action, build that pantry, and sleep a little easier knowing you're prepared for whatever comes next.